You're listening to the 212 Roundtable Podcast. You can find us on SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Play, and Google Podcasts, as well as Apple Podcasts. Be sure to leave a review and subscribe. You can also find the Brew Club at 212.beer. That's the number 2, the word 12.beer. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram by searching 212 Brew Club. Now on to the show.
And we're back with another podcast of the 212 Roundtable. I'm here. My name is Brandon Winninger, and I'm also with
Tony Golick.
So today we're doing a review of a couple of things. So, oh God, I just knocked over my microphone. That's staying in.
I just want to point out that
you cannot take that out.
I'm not. We've.
Oh God, it's still happening.
It's gonna sound great. We haven't done this in a while, and I do appreciate the fact that you started this episode with "and we're back" because we took some time off, and I've enjoyed it. Have you? We clearly have forgotten how to do this.
Of course, yeah. I mean, we are amateurs, so
no, we're pros at this point.
So,
oh boy, chairs are moving.
God.
This is
so we are doing this at my house, and my wife is upstairs with her kids. So excuse the strange noises, if there are any. If not, Tony can edit them out. Whatever.
We'll see. I stopped doing all that.
So this is kind of a combination episode. The last episode that we had, we talked about breakfast beers and ciders, and then I made a cider out of a bunch of cider from a store. And that cider is ready. It's on tap. And Tony and I have a pour. So we're going to do that. And then we're also going to talk about vacation beers.
Yeah.
So Tony went on vacation this summer. I went on vacation this summer. And I picked up some beer. He picked up some beer. So we're going to talk about that. So how's your summer been, Tony?
Summer's been pretty good. Trying to think, it feels like it's going by so fast that it's almost over, and I'm dreading that it's almost over. But a lot's been going on. My kids are ready to go to college. We went to North Carolina. 4th of July happened. There's fireworks blowing off by my backyard. Nobody died. I brewed some beers, and I think that's it. Yeah. But my mom was here for 2 weeks.
She was.
That was a lot of fun. You got to hang out with her as well. But yeah, how's your summer been, man?
It's been good. Not the summer that you would expect, but having a kid, it just changes everything. But
weird, I wouldn't have expected that.
Yeah, right. But we did get to go down to Missouri, the Kansas City, Missouri area. So we did that, and that's where we brought some beers back from.
Yeah, and I brought my beer back. Well, I brought 2 beers, one for you. That maybe we'll talk about some other time.
Yeah.
That was mainly a gift for you for watching the cats. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then I brought an IPA from them as well.
Yeah, so it's been
them being North Carolina.
It's been a weird. Our summer's just been focusing on the kid, but we've gotten to go to my parents' lake house and take him out there and stuff like that. It's just been getting him acclimated to doing stuff. Yeah. So that trip was good. It was almost flawless as far as a trip could go.
That's good news.
Because when we went down there...
Snuck in that burp, too.
Yep. Editor's note.
Not editing that.
So we went down there, and it was I think we had 2 or 3 stops the whole way down, and it's a 7.5, 8 hour drive.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
The way back was a little more. Mm-hmm. But, whatever.
It sounds like a success then.
Yeah, it was awesome. So that was the main hit of our summer. I've got some work trips coming up, so next week
Where are you going next week?
Denver.
Oh, good old Colorado.
Yeah. I don't know. Are we not supposed to talk about dates and to say that?
No, I mean, let's be honest. This episode's coming out in September. We're almost...
Yeah, but we're mid-August.
We're mid-August, so that's fine. Doesn't matter. By the time this comes out, he'd already been on a trip. It's fine.
It's all good. Nobody cares.
That's how the world... Everybody... I think at this point, everyone knows how podcasts work. Stuff is
everybody that listens to ours knows how we work.
Yeah.
Most people. So...
Don't mind the white noise in the background now.
If I can bring some cool stuff back from Denver, I will. I mean, my whole plan every time I go to Denver is I want to find stuff that you can't find here.
Yeah. But you can find a lot of Denver stuff in Chicago.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's plenty that we haven't found.
Yeah.
I'm also going to Atlanta in September.
Ooh.
And by the time this episode comes out, I will be going, I think, 2 weeks from this release of this.
Nice.
So hopefully I can find a way. I'm probably just bringing a carry-on, so I don't know if I'll be able to backpack some beer back, which you can't because I can't bring liquids.
What's in Atlanta?
My sister is getting married.
Yes.
Yeah, so congratulations to them. So we'll be down there for...
Where's my invite?
We'll be down there. I'm going to see maybe if I can buy some beer and have my mom ship it to me legally. That doesn't exist.
Well, depends on where you bought your ticket. Let me know. I may be able to get you some carry-on for free.
Hey, this guy knows what's up.
Right.
Anyways, let's move on. I'm really excited to do... it's good to be back, and I'm excited to try your cider.
Yeah,
And I did sneak a sip real quick, but I let's go. Let's do this. Here we go. That was a big gulp. You carbonated it really well. That was the first thing I noticed when I poured it. It's tiny bubbles in there. It feels like I said.
Tiny bubbles.
I knew that was coming. So you used the Kroger apple juice.
Yep.
And the Bell Saison yeast.
Yep.
Now, when I've done mine, I just use straight up champagne yeast. And I do see a difference. I know your first note to me was that you thought it was just a little sweeter than you wanted it to be.
Yes.
You'd like it a little more dry.
Yeah.
I do like the way this has turned out with using that Saison yeast. Like, that's awesome. I'm sure there's a way to dry it out a little bit more.
Yeah.
Maybe by adding some sugar in it. Boost the alcohol, you dry it out.
That was the whole thing that we talked about, was like those things where you can add fruit afterwards, then you can get, it boosts the alcohol but dries out.
Exactly.
And I don't know if I want that. This is easy. Like, to me, this is okay. Like, you know what? My first initial thought, and I gave you that, because the last time I had it was like 4 days ago, or 5 days, when I carved it, and I was like, whatever. But like now, I'm like, I might be okay with this.
It reminds me of the drinkability of mine. Yeah. We had two totally different ciders. I had the tart cherry juice in mine. Yeah. And I used the regular champagne yeast, which I think is like EC 1117. Yeah. Or 117. I don't know. If you're a home brewer, you know what I'm talking about. But this is good, man. It's light. It's fruity. It tastes. Do you know what the ABV ended up being? The final, what it dropped at? No. Cool. So I'm gonna say it's probably about 5%, from their starting gravity.
What was our original gravity?
We'll have to go back to the episode.
I think it was like 0.5 or like whatever. You
0.050. Yeah.
And then it was 1 when I finished.
Oh, okay. So you're at 5%. Yeah. So you've got like that's pretty standard for if you're just doing an apple juice cider. And like we said, it's a really simple process. It can take some time. You can do other things to clear it up. But really, if you just want to knock out having a hard cider on tap or in bottles, this is a very easy way to do it. And this is a perfect example of what you get out of it.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to do.
I wish I had a growler to take some of this with me. It's good.
I've got a growler. I'll give you some.
Sweet.
So, like, that was my point for the first, run through, was just to do a standard cider with those ciders. Because now I know, those are good, and I can go back and do that again and then add on top of it.
It's a great apple flavor.
Yeah.
And Mike and I were talking, so I wanted to do, I already sound like I'm drunk. I want to do, all right, Jeff and I, neighbor Jeff.
Yes.
We're talking about ciders. And he said, well, could you do anything with Granny Smith apples? I said, well, you could, but that'd be super tart, and I don't know how well those juice, and I don't want to press apples and shit like that. I don't want to do it. I want to make them. So we thought about, what if I made my regular cider batch with the apple juice, and I macerated some Granny Smith apples, and let them sit at the bottom of a bucket, and rack my finished apple cider on top of it.
Ooh.
Let it re-ferment. Pick up some of the tartness from it, see what happens. I don't know. That'll be another little experiment that I'm going to do this fall, because he was telling me the Granny Smiths that he gets, they end up being best in season around mid-September. So around the time that we're talking about this is hopefully when I'm going to get those apples. And I think I'll add some cinnamon to it too. Maybe make we called it, we already trying to think of a name for it, Granny cider. Granny cider or something like that. But yeah, I'm gonna try that out. But for your first go around, do you have a name for the cider or just Brandon Cider?
It's called Ben Cider.
Ben Cider. I like that. I like that a lot. Obviously, Ben Part is that name. In case you guys don't know. But good job, man. Really good first go on that.
Thanks, man. And I'm glad it turned out the way it did. Like, when I first had it, I was like, meh.
I will definitely have some more before I leave today.
Oh, yeah, you will. And I will give you a growler.
Sounds like a threat. Thanks.
To give some to your wife.
Yeah, that's mainly what I want on the growler for. Okay, so you just put a beer in front of me. What is this? Moving on.
So if I'm reading the name correctly on the bottle, it's the One String Centennial IPA.
That looks right to me.
So this is from Liberty Cap Brewing in St. Joseph, Missouri. So
Missouri.
Missouri.
Yeah.
Depends on where you're from. Ask my wife. So this was important because Liberty Cap was started by... So my father, well, my wife too. So my father-in-law lived across the street from a guy that was a home brewer.
Okay.
And he did these home brewing things, and like they would brew all the time and have cigars and beers all the time, where he would come out and share his beers, and everyone would smoke cigars and have whiskey, beers, and cigars, whatever. So he got approached to open a brewery, so he opened up Liberty Cap.
Mm-hmm.
And so they've been brewing stuff for a while. The drawback to that is, I found out when we went down there, is the guy who was involved with that is no longer involved with that.
Oh.
Because of some political stuff, I suppose.
Bummer.
Either way, so he's not involved. But like, it was still, this is still a local beer, so I was drawn to it, and this may be his recipe.
Sure.
I don't know. I have to find out.
Well, there's still a history to the brewery itself with someone.
Yeah.
So you've got a connection to
Yeah,
it.
and so this brewery now is opening up a pub in the area. They were strictly a brewery.
A pub
before.
in Missouri?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, not here.
Yeah, I just want to make sure.
So they're opening up a pub in Missouri, and they're about to open. I think September is when they're supposed to open, but...
Hey, it could be open by the time this episode's out.
Oh, yeah, hey!
Probably not.
But anyways, I haven't tried it yet. So
Awesome. Oh, I'm looking forward to trying it. So it's a Centennial IPA?
Centennial IPA.
You can smell that right up the glass. Holy cow. Man, that is a buttload of Centennial.
Yes.
Because, what is it? Bell's Too Hard, it is Centennial.
Yeah.
That is what this reminds me of.
Yep.
It's a
I was
little...
going to say the same thing.
It's a little light. What's the ABV on it? And when I say light, I mean light in body.
If it says... No whammy, no whammy, no whammy.
I take that back. It's not light in body. It's the bitterness of the hops.
Yeah, so it
Kinda
doesn't
sharp.
say on the can, so...
You can probably look that up right now. I'll look it up.
I'm certainly going to look
Man,
it up.
that's kind of... let's see. I sounded like disappointed. Like, let's see. How can I... No. It's super fruity and piney. It's a good IPA. The bitterness...
It's a kick in the mouth with some pine. Like,
yeah, it's... I kind of wish there was a little more sweet maltiness to it. Because it's kind of like all hop.
Yeah.
And that's it.
It's all hop, no flavor.
Exactly.
And when I say that, like, the hop is flavor, but, like, there's no, like, balance. There's no undertones.
Yeah, it's... If you want to drink... Like, Everyday Hero from Revolution.
Yes.
Their, session IPA, which I really like, especially because it's, like under 100 calories and 4% alcohol. As I become a fat man this year, I look at that stuff now. That to me tastes like when you're brewing and you try your wort after you've hopped it, like when you're checking the original gravity and you're transferring it to your fermentation vessel. That's what the Everyday Hero reminded me of, where it's just a lot of hop flavor, but that one's light, and I think that's a good vessel, I guess, or a good way to vessel maybe is not right. I think that's a good beer in that sense of what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be light, and you get hops, so it's like an IPA without all the sugar. This, on the other hand, is just, I think you nailed the head. There's not a lot of layers to it. It's kind of one note, and it's Centennial hops. So if you're someone who really likes Centennial hops, and that's, your jam, this could be yours too. I don't hate it. I
No.
don't think I would go out of my way to buy it again if I saw it.
Well, you can't because it's not here. But
If I ended up in Missouri. Yeah,
well, depending on what's on tap,
True.
this may be my go-to. But
that's true. I'm looking up now. What is it called again? One string Centennial?
one string Centennial IPA by
Wow, look at
Liberty
that.
Cap.
Good job, Brain. All right, I'm looking this up now. You can talk more about that. Go ahead and talk more about that while I look this up.
Yeah, it's just that. I mean, I had high hopes, and I'm not saying that my high hopes were destroyed, but if you look at the can and like that's what it says, one string Centennial IPA. In my mind, I'm like, okay, great. And then literally what we got was a one string of Centennial IPA.
Yeah, that's
And maybe that was the point. And
Yeah,
if that's
maybe
the
it is.
point, then they delivered. Like,
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Good job on them. Like,
It says American IPA with all Centennial hops. That's the description they have
Yeah.
on Untapped. It is 6.5% ABV. Does
Okay.
not list the IBUs. Overall, it's okay. Someone's review on it says very neutral up front and then sweet and bitter on the back end. I didn't get any sweetness, but everybody's got different palates, and this is just our take on this particular beer. Good, not great. That's where I'm at with this one. I would kick this one out of bed. That's not true. If someone gave me this beer, I wouldn't be like, no thanks. It tastes like blood. I like Centennial hops, so I guess maybe it's because the first thing I thought of was Two Hearted, and I associate Centennial hops with Bell's Two Hearted.
yeah.
And Two Hearted is so good, and that's like 7.5%, but there's like a rich malty sweetness that you
Yes.
get to counterbalance the intense Centennial hops that they use in there. But
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe that works
You
against
don't get that maltiness in the back end, so that's a big thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Super, man, that is kind of rich in pine. And now that I'm getting half, you gave me a half pour because we both had a 12 ounce. Well, you had one 12 ounce can of this, and we split it. But this is now kind of what's the word I'm looking for?
Regret.
No, no, it's kind of taxing how piney this has become now.
Yeah.
To the point where it's like when you smell pine sol. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah.
it's just a bit much.
Yeah. So even a half.
Yeah, why don't you get back to the microphone there? He's pouring the other beer.
Yeah. So even a half can of that is like it's. I don't want to say it's bad. It's tough to drink because, like, and again, you go for somebody who enjoys beer and like is a beer aficionado, which we are not.
Oh yes, we are.
Or we claim to be. But anyways, so like it's like we like beer and we like what we like, and just doing that, it's tough.
Yeah, it was taxing. I think taxing is the right word to use on that.
Yeah.
It was just a
It's
bit
taxing
much.
on the palate.
Yeah, like it's gonna be tough to get out of my mouth. But anyways,
That's what she said.
Okay.
I went there. I did.
He did. The next beer that we're going to do is a beer that I brought back from Asheville, North Carolina, which was the very tail end of my trip. In fact, we were visiting some friends down there. I went to, I think, a total of 8 breweries while I was down there. There was one I really wish I would have grabbed some beers from, but it was the first day we were there, and I just was thinking, like, oh, I'll have time. And, of course, waited till the last minute, ended up in Asheville, and went here. I stopped at Wicked Weed, and that's where I got you your bottle. I didn't grab anything for myself there, but we ended up down the street at another brewery, and I don't know how to pronounce their name. It's Bramari, Bhramari Brewing Company.
What?
Yeah, that place was cool. It was a cool, funky place. The decor was really cool. They had a whole bunch of beers on tap. I was not on this trip. Everywhere I went, I had a New England IPA. That's how I started my first beers at these breweries. I would have a New England IPA, because that's where I'm at right now in my life. And I did not care for their New England IPA. I didn't think it was all that great. They had some weird beers. One that was, I think, called like Pizza Time, that they actually used pizza ingredients in the mash. And I mean there's like tomato, basil. I think they mentioned the dough. It's a blur now from when that was. But anyways, so I decided to buy a beer from these guys. And I bought Neon Ghosts, and I'm really happy that I did. I would have more of these cans, but Kevin and I started drinking them, and we really liked it. So I only had the one can left, and that's why it's here. Classic Tony and Kevin move. So this is Neon Ghost. It's another IPA, and it's uses the hops Mosaic and Eldorado. And ironically enough, that is what's in my latest batch of my New England IPA, Run the Juice 2. I used Mosaic, Eldorado, Citra, and Amarillo hops, but the main focus is Mosaic and Eldorado. So I didn't even realize that until now.
Sinner.
I know. So let's. I'm interested in what you think about this one. And as I'm looking up on Untappd, it's kind of a plain description as well by saying an IPA with Mosaic and Eldorado hops. 2 maroon shirts. That's who we are.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. I love the smell of it.
Yeah, totally.
This is more along the lines of a New England IPA if we're going off of what we just had, because the last beer was so bitter that this is way sweeter than I remember. I feel like I should have cleansed my palate before I...
No, so I love the maltiness of this. So I'm down with that. And, like, that's what the other beer lacked. There was no, like, after... like.
Yeah, I hate to keep beating up on that beer. It's not like a shit beer or anything. No. It's just, if we have to do a side-by-side comparison, yeah, I'm leaning more towards this beer, Neon Ghosts.
No, and we're going against 2 beers that probably can't be bought in the same market.
Correct.
So,
yeah, it's kind of funny. I didn't even think about that. We got 2 separate markets here.
Yeah, but this... satisfies everything that I want for hops.
Yeah.
As well as that sweetness in the back end.
It's a pretty balanced beer, and there's enough bitterness in here, and it says on there hazy and juicy. I didn't realize that until just now on the can. That it is more kind of like a New England IPA style than a traditional IPA, and maybe that's why I'm leaning towards it.
It is hazy.
More.
I'll
yeah.
give you that.
And I think there's more bitterness to this than your average New England IPA. So.
Yes. Totally.
Yeah, I'm feeling this one a lot. I like it. I liked it when I got it. I like it now. Mosaic and Eldorado, 2 good hops.
Yeah. I didn't know you drank like 40 of them before you came here, but...
not before I came here. It's been spread out since I've been back in July. I had a 6-pack. I was going to hold on to them. Then I started drinking them. I started sharing them. Okay? I saved the last one for you, buddy. Yeah, so that's a good start. We did cider, we did one string, we did Neon Ghost, and I think, as I like to say, it's time for a break. And with this break, what I'm going to try and do, or what we're going to try and do, is, as much as we love the Fluid Minds music, and we're going to keep using the Fluid Minds music, and we thank them for letting us use said music, I would like to try to bring in some more music for the break. So we're actually going to play some music from a guy that I know. The name of the group is... I didn't know how to pronounce it when I saw it. And I'll show you how they spell... Oh, actually, I'll tell you how to spell it. Ellis space D. How would you pronounce that? Ellis space D.
Elias?
Thank you. Elias D. It's not. Think about it. LSD.
Ellis. So we're not using that.
We are. And we're right back. We're taking a break. See ya.
Glorious day. I guess it's kind of windy and foggy and shit. Still waiting on that summertime. Check it. Got a rhyme book, and you know it's loaded. Every time I do it, baby, money ain't the motive. If I win and wrote it, then you know they gonna quote it. If I win and wrote it, then you know it is the dopest. Got a rhyme book, and you know it's loaded. Every time I do it, baby, money ain't the motive. If I win and wrote it, then you know they gonna quote it. If I win and wrote it, then you know it is the dopest. Yo, I know I made it when my life is doper than my dreams. A paradox it seems because the dope it blocks my dreams. I'm bursting at the seams, at the burden of the scene. Keanu Reeves, maybe Neo wasn't in my jeans. Wasn't my cup of tea, or riding around in limousines. Try to be part of a brilliant scheme, bunch of bad bitches in between. Now wouldn't that be something? But still no guarantee. a dollar sign. Life is a lottery. Shit, capture that psychology. Got a rhyme book, and you know it's loaded. Every time I do it, baby, money ain't the motive. If I win and wrote it, then you know they gonna quote it. If I win and wrote it, then you know it is the dopest. Got a rhyme book, and you know it's loaded. Every time I do it, baby, money ain't the motive. If I win and wrote it, then you know they gonna quote it. If I win and wrote it, then you know it is the dopest.
My talent make you perish, my talent will show who fair is. My skill meant to embarrass like parents with their appearance. Never missed a day like Ferris, y'all just rabbits chasing carrots. There's a rumble in the jungle, you feds compare to parrots. Y'all the opposite of dominant, thank you for no compliment. My confidence, it's obvious, my competence is common sense. I switch the style like 50 Cent, put down the instruments. Picked up the mic, and I ain't been common sense. I looked inside of my own mind just to see what I could find. I saw the sign, tossed the line, now I'm walking down my spine. I used to stop right on a dime just to turn into a nickel, dropping in the coverage. My head in a constant swivel, your offenses all be riddled, but you ain't getting up that middle. Yeah, sorta kinda civil, but it's safe to say I'm sickening. All geeked out on Ritalin, imagine how they picked on him, but he would never give an inch, he was never giving in.
Got a rhyme book, and you know it's loaded. Every time I do it, baby, money ain't the motive. If I win and wrote it, then you know they gonna quote it. If I win and wrote it, then you know it is the dopest. Got a rhyme book, and you know it's loaded. Every time I do it, baby, money ain't the motive. If I win and wrote it, then you know they gonna quote it. If I win and wrote it, then you know it is the dopest.
And we're back.
How'd you know? God damn it, you stole my thunder.
You'd started the episode with it, so I decided to take it from you.
Stop.
You son of a bitch. Don't you dare do it.
Rewind. And we're back!
Oh, that probably clips, so I'm going to have to edit it anyway.
Damn it. Can I have twice an episode? Anyways.
Welcome back.
What did we just finish?
The Neon Ghosts. Neon Ghosts from...
So where was it from?
Asheville, North Carolina. I was having a hard time pronouncing the brewery name. I think it's like Bramere. Let's see. Bhramare. Bramare. I don't know, man. I didn't even ask him when I was there. But I liked it. That's a good beer. And if anybody's out in Nashville, you guys should probably stop in there. They're about a quarter mile away from Wicked Weed. There's a lot of cool places over there. I went to a cool taco shop that had some good beers on tap as well. I forget the name of it. Jillian had suggested the taco place to us.
Nice.
Duck tacos, something like that.
Tacos with ducks.
I mean, well, if you want to talk about duck tacos, there are some really good crispy duck tacos at a place that I am forgetting right now in Evanston. What the hell is the name of that? Clark, remind me of what that is. It's been so long. El Diablo. Never mind. It's a good taco. Well, I think it's still good.
Yeah, so
that's a long rant.
It's funny, tacos. So
Sorry.
I've never been to Asheville. I would love to be to.
I would love to go
to
back.
Asheville.
I want to go back. Let's go.
I've got through marriage an uncle that lives in Asheville.
Wish you could talk to your uncle.
I know.
Becca never listens to the shows, so
She doesn't.
neither does Laura. I'm gonna start just talking mad shit about her.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess my uncle lives in Asheville, and they love it.
Yeah, Asheville was cool. I mean, I was only there for...
I don't know if they're in
2
the
hours.
Asheville area. I don't know if it's traditional Asheville, but whatever. It's whatever.
Yeah, it's a cool town, and they apparently have a buttload of breweries over there. But I only got to visit 2, and Wicked Weed was so crowded. They're a brew pub. There was a line to get in just to get food, and luckily, fellow club member Dave had noticed that there was the bottle shop right off to the side from the eating area, and there was no line to get in there. So we just kind of beeline straight there. And I don't remember what beer Dave got, but I do know that he and his wife Corey, they grabbed some beers to bring home as well. All right, Brandon just rinsed the glasses, and now we are going to try... Not cool.
I thought that was like an appropriate
Yeah, sure. We'll see how that sounds. We'll see how it sounds in post. This is Casey Opening Day Ale. That's what it says. I'm assuming it has something to do with the Royals, with it being a blue and white can and called Opening Day. It's probably was brewed for Opening Day for the beginning of the MLB season. And what I read on the side, well, Brandon, you have the can in your hand. You can You tell the fine folks where it is. I do.
I will.
You want me to read it? Yeah, I want me to read it.
Well, let me put on my reading voice.
Oh God.
Crack open a perfectly
Why are you?
refreshing
Wait.
opening day
You're
ale.
screaming though close into the mic. That's all staying in. Oh God.
Something came out. Crack open a perfectly refreshing opening day ale, a beautiful golden beer, light-bodied and effervescent with a hint of ginger and orange peel. Opening the pool and covering the boat, or pulling out lawn chairs from the shed.
I think uncovering the boat is probably what it says.
What did I say?
Covering the boat.
Fuck this thing.
You're not.
Editor's note.
Editor's note. Fuck this thing.
Crack open. Oh God, there's shit in my hand.
You got paper towels right here.
I know. God damn it.
You want me to try and read it instead?
I wish all podcasts were like this.
Oh God! Do you want me to try and read it,
Nope.
or you're gonna try this again? All right, take 3. You gotta stop yelling like that. That's what's jarring everything.
And here's the reading. Crap open. Crap.
I just broke your chair. I think.
You probably did.
Oh, fat
Crack
son of a
open
bitch.
a perfectly refreshing opening day ale, a beautiful golden beer, light-bodied and effervescent with a hint of ginger and orange peel.
Mm-hmm.
Opening the pool, uncovering the boat, or pulling out.
So close.
God damn it.
Pulling out what?
Yeah, nobody cares. Pulling out lawn chairs from the shed. Opening day is a time for celebration. Kansas City does it best. Go to a game. Head to the lake. Go to shopping. Play golf. Start up the grill. It's time, KC. Opening day is here.
KC is the letters KC, not anybody's name Casey. Yeah. That was good, man. That was the longest reading of a can ever.
Yeah, you know what? I thought I was going to read the first part, and then I just went with it.
That was good.
And it sucked.
I mean, the last time was good. The other times were not good.
I don't know. Depends on how the edit falls. So.
I mean, depending on how it all sounds and how much clipping there may or may not be, it might just all stay in. It may not have. Who knows? I already took a sip.
Yeah, well, I know. It's fine.
That's good. I bet that's a. I mean, I'm not saying that it's. I would like to have this. I'd like to have this beer like ice cold.
Yes.
I feel like that would actually make that orange and ginger kind of pop. But that's a damn refreshing beer, especially after those 2 IPAs we had.
Yep. Yeah, I pulled it out a little early, but
No, that's okay. That's good. It's got good flavor to it. That seems like a non-offensive beer to anybody you would give it to. You could give it to anybody that is a craft beer drinker or someone who just loves pounding those high lives like me.
but I'm getting the orange peel.
Yeah, a little bit.
And I'm getting the ginger too, I think.
A little bit. More than I thought I was going to get. And actually, my wife, Laura, hates ginger. And gingers. No, I'm joking. She doesn't. She doesn't like ginger, and I think she could drink this and not really pick up on it, or it wouldn't be offensive to her. But it's a nice golden straw-colored beer. It's kind of straightforward. I enjoy it. I would drink this again, whether it be opening day or closing day.
Yeah,
whether I'm opening the pool or closing the pool, pulling out the chairs, putting the chairs away, going to a game, or watching the World Series. You can drink an opening day ale. Look at that. I just did a commercial. It was much better than your one can rating. Oh, multiple can rating.
I didn't know I was doing a commercial, you son of a bitch.
You set up it. You set it up.
This is from Kansas City Craft Brewers. The brewers of craft ale.
You're making it a commercial.
Your mom's a commercial.
You hear that, Mom? My mom doesn't listen to this either, I don't think. I know my sister listens to it now. My sister and I love our moms. My sister and her soon-to-be husband both have listened to the podcast. They said we do a good job, so I don't know which episodes they listen to.
Yeah, they better listen now because bringing it up.
Well, Clark called me out because I talked some shit about Clark, and he texted me the next day. I said it was a test. It was a test to see. See, there it is. You hear that, Clark?
Yeah, fuck Clark.
Whoa! I am not condoning that,
All right,
Clark.
maybe I shouldn't say that because Clark will fire me.
Classic Clark. Burn.
Firing people left and right.
Clark, when are you coming back on the show? Yeah, we gotta get you back on here. This is a good one, man. This is a nice, refreshing beer. Actually, I kind of wish we were ending with this beer because then the next beer that we have, I intoxicatingly tried, so I can't say that I got the best impression of it. So drinking it today is going to be kind of like drinking it brand new. And this next beer is not really a vacation beer as much as it is someone from out of town came by and brought it and gave it to me to try. Are you familiar with this?
I got stories about Trogs.
Oh, okay. Trogs. Yeah, I know nothing about it. I knew nothing about them.
Hopefully we'll get us some new listeners.
Ooh. I like new listeners. Yeah, if you guys know anybody who likes listening to podcasts, you should tell them to listen to our podcast. God, you're as bad as Eric and Emil right now. Just slamming fucking glasses.
It's my bar. I do what I want.
That was much nicer. Thank you. Nice pour. All right, so the overall, what's our overall consensus on the KC opening day?
You know what? I think we need to do?
Stop slamming the beers?
Well, no. Aside from that,
I just did that.
Coming up with our own personal ratings.
Ooh. When we're talking about other beers?
Yeah.
Sure.
So if you've ever seen on like Facebook, there's Barstool Sports that the dude just goes around and like eats pizza everywhere.
Yeah.
He gives them like 1 through 10 and like 5.8, whatever. But like we should have our own
our own rating.
12 rating.
Well, should we rate it from like 202 to 212? 202 being 0 and 212 being the top?
You kind of, yeah. It's like if it's 212.
That's a 212 beer!
212.1 is, that's the bottom of the barrel. 212.10 is top of the barrel.
So we're basically doing... So we're basically just doing a 1 through 10 scale while putting 212 in front of it. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Perfect. Sign me up. For the next... Well, we can start with this beer. Of trying that. Because I don't want to... I feel like I have to go back to the other... I'd have to retry those other beers. And like I said, we need to stop slamming.
We could.
The first episode we ever did, episode 0, which was released recently as well. We were so responsible that we had like leftover pours in beers. Or leftover pours in glasses that at the end of the night, then we finally drank them all. Not anymore. Those are
But we do have backups. So. Just saying.
Are you saying we need more beer?
No.
We have backup hosts?
No. So let's start our rating now.
Okay, with this beer.
Yes.
Okay. So this was brought to me Thursday. It is Perpetual IPA. It says Perpetual IPA, which actually stands for Imperial Pale Ale. It is from Trogs Independent Brewing. Where's Trogs located at?
Somewhere in Pennsylvania.
Correct. And it is 7.5% alcohol. It says straw golden color, 12 fluid ounces year-round. The hops they use are Bravo, Chinook, Mount Hood, Nugget, Citra, and Cascade. And this is what it says on the can. At Trogs Artisanal... What? At Trogs Artisanal meets mechanical...
So,
okay, let me read this real quick. At Trogs, artisanal meets mechanical in a state of IPA we call perpetual cycling. Through our hop-back vessel and dry hopping method, this bold Imperial Pale Ale emerges rife with sticky citrus rind, pine balm, and tropical fruit. By the way, that's how you read a can. Go ahead.
You just fucking run through it like your fucking diaper's on fire.
Nice diaper reference, Dad.
So the reason I was excited about this is when I worked at... Here's another plug for
Great, a Fishman's store. No.
So
we love you guys.
Early in the days of Fishman's, we did homebrewer nights, and we had a couple of homebrewers in, and one was like Chris and Valerie. They came in and they did a homebrewer thing. So Valerie now works for Trogs.
Oh, cool.
Her and her boyfriend, not Chris, but they moved out to. Just clarifying.
Sorry,
they
Chris.
moved out to Pennsylvania. I guess it's in Hershey.
Oh, that's right. I was told that. And then there was a joke made about why isn't there a Hershey beer made?
So she does it. So I think that's... And she comes back to Chicago regularly. She'd be a good person to talk to about stuff.
We have a long list of people we need to start contacting.
Yeah.
For a podcast that talks about beer and homebrewing, and everybody was like, sure, I'll be on, sure, I'll be on. Sure. We have not done that.
Yeah, but a lot of people that we've said, hey, talk to us, have been like, yeah, no, I'm not ready.
So right away, when I smell this beer, that is like a hoppy mess.
I would agree.
Like, I can't put my finger on anything other than kind of just green.
Yes.
And drinking it tastes a lot better than it smells.
Yeah.
That's kind of a cool mix of piney and citrusy. Almost. There's a little green to it, but that's a pretty good beer. Also, it's at 7.5%. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's almost an 8%. That's why they say it's an IPA, but it actually stands for Imperial Pale Ale because it's not crazy hoppy. It's kind of like a boozier pale ale.
Totally. No, I'm getting that too.
And maybe that's why this hopping is kind of weird to me. Again, I would say this is along the line of One String, where not a bad beer, not a great beer, it's good.
Yeah.
If we're gonna go on our new 212 scale, which is 212.1 to 212.10, which 212.10 sounds weird. What about 212.12?
Yeah.
I think we're gonna come up with a new rating system. Out of the 1 to 10 scale of the 212 rating, we're gonna come up with something different. I'm gonna go with 212.6. And silence came across.
I'd give it a...
I'm gonna add a dramatic effect, like.
So wait. So what's the upper end of the scale? 12?
No, it's just 10. We're just gonna do 10.
Okay.
We're gonna do something different, but for this episode, this is what we're doing.
I'd give it a... No, I guess, 6 is fine with me.
Sex is fine with me.
Yeah, 6 is always fine with me. But 6, 212.6
Yeah,
is
because
good.
it's above the middle, but it's not higher than better.
Yes.
What a terrible description. It's above the middle, but not higher than better.
God, maybe we should stop rating.
Yeah, maybe we're not gonna do
This
it.
is a terrible idea.
You know what? I'm quitting the show. This is my last episode.
Oh, good. Me too. Beep.
Did you actually? Did you? That would have been great. Oh man, I feel like taking a break was the best thing that you and I could have done.
Yeah.
What a fun. Yeah, I know it's still recording. No, I meant a break from recording. Actually enjoying the summer for vacation. I'm looking forward to some ideas we have lined up. And we have a bad habit of, now when I say we, it's actually me, because I always say shit and we don't end up doing it right away. But with the time of year that is upon us, I think we can firmly say Oktoberfest beers will be within the next 2 episodes.
Yes.
And I'm so excited. I'm not excited that summer is coming to an end, but the one thing that I do look forward to once fall starts setting in is Oktoberfest. And I feel like here in Chicago, we're really lucky because even the local breweries put out some great Oktoberfest beers. And I think it'd be nice to maybe bring a guest or two on so we help us drink some of these beers.
Yep.
We'll see who's available for that. But yeah, Oktoberfest beers will be next. The next episode or the episode after that.
Yeah, and this is the thing about Oktoberfest beers. You can say Oktoberfest or October beers or fall beers.
We'll see.
There's like a plethora. It's like
for sure
King and like all this other.
Oh yeah, I mean there's so many things we can cover. I want to specifically.
I would definitely like to talk about Pumpkin. Put it in its fucking place.
I'm a warlock guy.
I love Pumpkin. But
maybe you know what we should do? Maybe we should do. You and I could have a debate. Wait, so do you not like Pumpkin?
I do.
Okay. Why do you want to put it? What do you mean we'll put it in its place?
It's just so prominent.
Oh yeah. Like stop making it.
It's out now, and I'm like, God damn you, Pumpkin.
I saw Pumpkin Spice Life cereal already.
What?
Come on, it's 2 months. There's Oktoberfest beers out now.
Our next podcast will be a cereal podcast.
Be a pumpkin spice cereal podcast. We should have a cereal episode. That'd be funny. April Fools.
Should put that in a beer.
A cereal beer? No one's ever thought of that
No,
before.
we've done that before.
We've done 3 of them. But yeah, I think Oktoberfest will be the next one that we do. You and I will discuss a date when we're not on the microphone here.
Yep.
And I will see if we can get a couple of fellow drinkers involved with that. So it's not me and you trying to burn through 4 beers in an hour.
Radio.
That was the creepiest way to end that conversation. Brandon?
Do you not know Child's Play?
I do. He says Heidi Ho.
I know.
Oh, I get it now. Radio, but in the vein of Heidi Ho.
All right, guys.
Fuck it, we're going.
I'm knocking shit over now. I'm really pissed off.
Okay, don't yell into the mic.
This is my mic.
Ew.
Yell if I want to.
Belligerent.
It's my mic.
You can tell that Brandon's been on vacation because he's belligerent after the end of one episode.
All right, guys.
Brandon, I love you, man.
Tony, I love you too.
This is a fun way to get back into it. These were our vacation beers, and like I said, we're gonna have we'll have more episodes. Oktoberfest will be next. I'm calling it right now. Oktoberfest is the next episode. The next episode we're gonna talk about Oktoberfest. Thanks for listening, everybody. Please keep telling people about our show. Please. Music for this episode is provided by Fluid Minds, Ellis D, and Asa Phelps. To find more music from Fluid Minds, look them up on Spotify, iTunes, and anywhere music is streaming. To find more music by Ellis D, which is spelled ELLIS space D, look them up on Spotify and SoundCloud. And music by Asa Phelps, which happens to be me, Tony. You can find me on Bandcamp and SoundCloud. Thank you everyone for checking out the show. Look forward to talking to you guys next week. Cheers.